Ladies and gentlemen, how you feeling today? Thank you so much for having me. I go by the name of Humble the Poet. Inquisitive, thank you so much for having me. Please make some noise for Inquisitive right now. Just like Inquisitive, just like many of you, I am a child of an immigrant, and it's so awesome to see how far the children of many immigrants have come. My father was a cab driver with a Master's of Economics from Jaffo University. And in 1974, he came out to Toronto, and he couldn't use his education because it would require him to spend a couple more years in school. So instead, he worked in a furniture factory, and from that furniture factory, he jumped into the cab, and he drove the cab for 30 years. He took my sisters, both my sisters and myself, to university. I finished with 2 university degrees, one in IT, one in education. I worked as a school teacher, then I let it all go to be a rapper. But I could not do that without the support of my family, without the support of immigrants around the world that built all these countries. So can we please make some noise for the immigrants right now? This one is dedicated to all the immigrants, whether you are an immigrant, whether you are in love with an immigrant, whether you are related to an immigrant, or you have yet to meet one. I start all my performances off with this one. It's called Life of an Immigrant. It is dedicated to my father and all the immigrants around the world who have allowed us to take chances, take risks in our lives by setting us up so wonderfully. It goes, they told us the grass was greener, with an endless flood of possibilities, Katrina. Watch him drown in debt. Land confiscated by the local government, so he flies high in a jet plane. Plain clothes just exposed him to the harsh winters of life, and his wife won't know about the sweat soaked in the banknote. Sent home, boy getting grown, he starts to groan. His stomach's rumbling. He's hungry for a better life, now he's stumbling over foreign phonetics and those verb tenses. They laughing at his accent. It's not an accident though. His master's in economics is an honor. Most economics for a father, to have his ass in the cab and never bother getting out. That car always dream, memorize the route, and collect the fare. It isn't fair when they say you don't belong here with your long beard and that towel around your head. Hear what was said. Soaking the hate. Can you relate? It's the life of an immigrant. Thank you. Make some noise for all the immigrants in the world. Again, I'm so grateful to be here. I flew in yesterday early and a little bit of jet lag. Shout outs to Amin Inquisitive for letting me sleep in until half an hour ago so I can have all my marbles ready for this. It's an interesting thing. If you were in London 20 years ago, 30 years ago, there weren't going to be a lot of art exhibits. The Punjabi people, the people of Sikh heritage, we've had so many people of North India have had so many hiccups in our history. It didn't allow for the flourishing of art. Like, art requires leisure time. It requires peace. It requires, well, at least peace in your environment. You may not have the peace on the inside. If not only do I have to learn how to perform, the audience has to learn how to be an audience. You gotta give and receive, and I can give you guys energy, and I need energy back in return. So can I get some London energy, please, right now? Yeah, see, that's what I'm like. You guys are all soccer hooligans. Where are you guys at? Also, to be an art patron, you know, if you are supporting the artist to the point that they can create this art. Whether you're supporting with your time, your energy, your motivation, or your money, whatever you're supporting with, it is much needed. So please, one more round of applause for yourself with that. So the other thing about being an artist, and I know there's a lot of artists in this room right now, it's one of the loneliest jobs in the world. When you're creating, there really isn't as many people around you. When you're sitting there putting your lyrics together, when you're sitting there putting the paintbrush to the paper, you're by yourself, and it can get so isolating. And even with whatever success you feel that you're getting, you just become isolated. And I wrote this poem called Popular Loners. And it's about the idea that the more popular you get, the more lonely you can actually start to feel. And it's odd because you can't tell people that, because they're like, oh, this guy's just being, you know, he's just being spoiled. He doesn't know what it means. Everybody would love to be in the situation. But you start to see things, you start to go places that less and less people can relate to. And you can have less and less conversations with people, and they start to think that you're becoming pretentious, so you're becoming different from them, and it's a natural evolution. So this piece is called Popular Loners, and it was inspired by that idea. So if any of you are in the arts and you're feeling alone, kind of understand that that's one of the many costs of choosing this life. In addition to losing a lot of sleep, and possibly losing a lot of relationships. There's a price to this. It goes, now we're popular loners, can't see around the corner. Ain't no step-by-step guide for this ride, but we own it. F it, I'm on one. And now I've been thinking about life and all the reminders that everything I got is prepaid with everything lost. Just a cost, just to play the game. Shame it ain't the same when you play fair. It ain't where you're going, it's where you are. So I'm flowing like I'm headed out to Mars now. Send them girls out to Jupiter. I said I'm headed out to Mars now. Cause you know they acting stupid when the things that you achieve start to match what they been dreaming. They gon' flock like they birds and you bred. Huh. Situations, whether it be a political situation, whether it be a social situation, whether it be a relationship situation, you know, we can get so frustrated with it and we don't know what to do because it's out of our control. And one thing that we can turn to is art. They always say, you know, a horrible life makes for wonderful art. And that's kind of what we tap into as artists. And I was talking to Itti earlier today. I'm sure he's floating around here. Oh, he's not, but Unga's here. But he was talking about the idea that first, when an artist starts, and this is for a lot of my starting artists, first we create what we think people are gonna like. We make what we think is gonna gain us acceptance. And then slowly, we start to share who we are. We start to share our thoughts, our dreams. You can see some of these pictures are they've evolved from what you see in some of the earlier work. And it's no longer about, well, I think people are gonna like this picture of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, let me do it. It's more so now, this is what I saw last night in my visions. And that's what art allows. Art allows expression, and there's always gonna be this battle because art's always gonna be about new ideas. An artist is bringing something new. And that's always gonna be competing with people who value the old, who value tradition, who value the old way of doing things. So what you get is, you get this competition, and what happens is, for example, an artist like Kanye West, you know, somebody who has to be very strong and bold about their ideas, people be like, well, he's cocky, you know, he's an a-hole, or he loves himself so much. But what you realize is, when you bring a new idea out there, that threatens the way of life, that threatens the traditions, and people start to pound you down. You have to stand up for yourself. Even fashion models have insecurities, and you know, we're here to celebrate beautiful visuals, but at the same time, talking about the idea of being superficial, talking about the idea of, you know, not everybody is happy with the way they look, even if on the outside we think they look wonderful. So this track is called A Million Karat Gold, and it was both written by me and Sona Relly. Hope you guys enjoy it.
They say we're not bright, they say we're not strong, but they're lies, 'cause we are, we are, we are. Oh, they say we're not real, and we're not set in stone. Don't buy the lies, 'cause we are a million karat gold.
Oh, they say beauty's only skin deep, but you ain't digging me, so how you gonna see beneath? Even my mama thinks my nose is crooked, kinda stiff, too skinny, and my face is pale, but I don't blame her, why would I? That prepared me for the world, was like it used to feeling ugly, and it made it easier to hide the pain that came with all the shame. Getting picked on wasn't fun, the pain that came along really stung, but it went from something that I shunned to something that I needed. No, I feed it off, now I'm succeeded in eating off it. Crazy toxic fumes and aqua tunes, just making music for the rest of us. They telling us we ugly, so let ugly be the best of us.
They say we're not bright, they say we're not strong, but they're lies, 'cause we are, we are, we are. Oh, they say we're not real, and we're not set in stone. Don't buy the lies, 'cause we are a million karat.
Baby girl, don't skip a million, big and beautiful. So do you, and screw who ever tells you different. Compliments will feed your confidence. No, they weaken them. Stop seeking them and only speak them when you mean them. See, I'm just as superficial as the next that I'll attempt, but I'll admit your smile is poetic. Your smile rhymes with everything, and everything we're bringing to the sky. We're celebrating, elevating you to the clouds, girl. You breathtaking. Take a breath.
They say we're not bright, they say we're not strong, but they're lies, 'cause we are, we are, we are. Oh, they say we're not real, and we're not set in stone. Don't buy the lies, 'cause we are a million karat gold. Go, 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 go. Yeah, we are a million karat gold. Go, 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 go,
Miller, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your time again. I go by the name of Humble the Poet. Thank you so much to Amin Inquisitive Thing for having us. Please support your local artists and support Amin as well. Buy a print, tell your friends, take a bunch of selfies, spread the word. Thank you so much.
I watched, which made me realize there's something beyond reality. So as a child, I used to watch the film and actually think, you know what, there's something so special about, you know, Oompa Loompas and like this guy that can blow up.
It's something amazing. So I've been lucky enough to work with him. He's made an amazing illustration for me too. And
Oh yeah.
Who's the flowers from?
From her fan.
Oh, okay.
Sister.